Hey everybody, welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
And we're here on location.
Yeah, believe it or not, we're here in Rick Bayless' backyard, the famous chef, and we're here talking about a collaboration beer that he has made with Jared over at Goose Island. And I think you were the person that kind of put this together. Welcome, Jen, everybody. Jen Barozzini.
Hi, how you doing? Rick and I talked a lot about the flavors we wanted the beer to have. Certain flavors to go with certain dishes of ours in the summer. And through us talking and then talking with Goose Island, poof, we came up with this.
So what was kind of like the thing that made you go to Goose Island? Of all the great breweries that are in Chicago, how did you pick them?
Why not Goose Island? Not only do we love their beer, but we totally respect what they do. We respect them as a brewery and the products they put out. They have this really high-end line that's about putting beer with food and making that wonderful marriage of those two just come alive. And we just love everything.
And Jared's the perfect guy for that, too.
Yeah, he's totally fun. He makes everybody feel comfortable. He doesn't make you feel like an idiot when you're asking him some questions. And it went really well.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, the beer is tasting great. The food is phenomenal, so I think it's a winner.
All right, well, we've been eating and we've been drinking.
And we found the men of the hour here.
I'm glad you've been eating and drinking. That makes me very, very happy.
Thanks so much for having us over, Chef Rick Bayless and Jared Rouben, the collaborators on this fantastic beer that we're drinking tonight.
We're having a party. And you can hear we're having a party.
The mariachis are playing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this. We know that we've talked with Jared many times on the show before, and we know that he's got a background in culinary arts. Have you ever brewed a beer before? Is this
No. And all I wanted to do is to tell Jared what we were looking for in terms of a flavor profile to go with certain parts of our menu. And so then they came up with the ideas of what they wanted to do and did an amazing job of just hitting it right on. But, somebody that comes from a culinary background understands how flavors are created in food. And so you take that same knowledge and you apply it to beer, and suddenly you can have these amazing matches between food and beer because they're really created in the same way. So we were looking for a beer that would be a starter beer for us, and I don't mean that in a starter like this would be your entry level to appreciating beer, but the first beer that you have when you walk into our restaurant. And lots of people come into our restaurant and they order guacamole, they order ceviches. We have all these different kinds of ceviches, and we wanted something that was going to be light enough to go with those things, but satisfying enough to really let you know that we take the beer as seriously as we take the food. So we weren't looking for something that was just going to be this little simple, bright tasting quaff.
This isn't fizzy water.
This isn't fizzy water, and you don't have to squeeze a lime into it. It's like this is real beer. And we wanted people to stop and go, wow, you taste this amazing guacamole, you taste this amazing ceviche, and it all goes so beautifully with what's in the glass.
Yeah, he gave me a little taste of this earlier today, and the first thing I thought of in keeping your restaurant in mind was ceviche.
Yeah.
So I think you guys really
awesome.
hit on that.
Because so ceviche is all about citrus juice, okay? And mostly about lime juice, but we also do ones with different kinds of citrus juice. And so we wanted to have a citrus element in this beer because I think that having that little bit of citrus element is going to be that perfect match back and forth, because I like to play one element in a dish against the same element in another dish, but it's cast in a different form because it's going with different things. And we also wanted to have, there's that sort of herbal spiciness that you will get in most guacamoles and ceviches, and we wanted to have a beer that would just love those kinds of flavors, not just something that would be okay with it, but would just like completely embrace them. And that we got that from his brilliant green coriander seeds, which I was like, I'm so in love with these things. And it's like, wow, you taught me something I knew nothing about.
Yeah, so what is green coriander? Is it or is it cilantro in early form?
The thing is, with green coriander, as a brewer, it provides a kind of a fruity aromatic and a fruity flavor profile.
Okay.
Which I thought would go perfect with this beer, especially with the citrus, and especially with a little hint of tea as well. So it's still bright, it's still refreshing. At the same time, it goes perfect with ceviche and guacamole.
Well, you dropped the bomb there, the tea, which to most people it would say like, what? What did you say? Did you say tea? Because you don't really think about tea going into beer, and suddenly you taste something like this and you go, oh, I can see where it's going there, because that tea's adding this sort of depth and complexity, a little bit of bitterness, but it's also adding an herbal quality that is a lot of what you find in our food, because we have a lot of fresh herbs in our food. So I think it works really beautiful from that. And then it's all wheat beer based, so that gives you a different flavor profile than other things, and absolutely. I think that works really beautiful as that sort of the first beer that you have, that first taste that you have. And to me, as a restaurant chef, having a meal in a restaurant, the restaurant has to understand their role the same way that the producer of a play understands their role. That when the people sit down and then the lights go down and the curtain comes up, the first thing you see is going to set your impression. Same thing in a restaurant. Absolutely. It's like you really want to have that, you want to be welcomed wonderfully to the restaurant. You want to sit down, you want to have something that just explodes in your palate. It's like, wow, this is going to be great, and that sets the tone. And that's why we wanted to do something like this. And due to your great craftsmanship, we have it. I can't say that I have anything to do with it at all, other than just to lay down the ideas to what I wanted to create. But you crafted it, man. You did a great job. Cheers.
You guys did a wonderful job.
Definitely succeeded.
Very well with all the cuisine over at Fontera, and great success.
Thank you so much.
So go check it out. It's on tap now.
Well, Ken, I'm full of beer and food.
That was such a wonderful night here at Chef Rick Bayless's house, and hanging out with everybody from Goose Island, and it just shows, because there's a wonderful beer in this glass that we're drinking right now.
Right. So speaking of the beer, this is on tap at Fontera.
At Fontera, you can get it right now, so go out and check it out. I mean, because there's many reasons to go there other than the beer, but this is just an icing on a cake.
Right. So what were the ingredients in it? We got green coriander.
Yep, we got a little bit of green tea and some various citruses. So, and it's rounded out nicely with a Belgian yeast strain, so you can really see how it would pair very well with a lot of those dishes that they're offering over at Fontera, especially some of the ceviches and guacamoles and stuff like that.
Right. It starts off the meal right. As Rick mentioned, you wanted something that puts it in good light, and this is
it certainly is. It's really shining. So can't thank him enough for having us. Thank you so much, Chef Rick, and for Jared and everybody at Goose Island for the lovely beers.
Right.
We had such a great time.
Get back to the fiesta here at Rick's backyard.
Cheers, everybody, and thanks so much for watching the Hopcast.